away from all of this technology and spending more time with self, spending more time in prayer, spending more time in meditation, spending more time in fasting. These are all things that are electron donors that help rehabilitate the spirit, because that's what it's coming to. Because, you know, whether we want to admit it or not, me and you have to transition from this flesh, whether you reincarnate and come back in another entity or you go on to new different planes of densities. One day we have to leave here. Yahki got to leave this flesh one day, just like Rich got to leave that flesh one day. So what should we really be focusing on? We should be focusing on increasing our quality of life and increasing the experience while we're here. And it's hard to experience true creation if we in a simulation, or if we sick all the time and we stuck into our bodies because our nervous system got pains in them, and we on our deathbeds and we can barely even breathe because our lungs have too much mucus built up inside it, or you got calcium bone spores built up because you super acidic. It's hard to really live in reality and figure out your purpose while you here to gather this information and bring it back to your higher self, or who we call God, if you on your deathbed.
Yeah.
So go ahead, brother.
So no, powerful. Like, brother, yeah, this is it. This is what I wanted tonight. This is the Yahki I was expecting tonight. He's playing like Jordan in his prime. So I appreciate this conversation. You're talking about election donors, and like I said, I love conversating with you, my brother, because I can introduce metaphysical concepts and you totally understand what I'm talking about. So you know the concept of as above, so below. You know, hermeticism and all of that. Yeah. So if you're talking about electron donors and things that are either adding to our energy or stealing from our energy, we're in the election season. Electron cells like election. Do you think one of the reasons we want us to vote, we are electron donors to either Trump? Talk to me about that, brother. Us being electron donors, my brother. Let's go, brother. Let's bring this home.
That should be clicking for Rich. He get it, man. So when you even when you get into that, think about the distractions. Think about what, even with the radio, just think about what they're doing. And for one, they're making you choose a side. And you basically dealing with one snake. They got a head at each individual end. So we talking about the same things. When you get that high up into the presidency, we can't change nothing about that, to be honest with you. And we know that these things are rigged and selected in the first place. And these go all the way back down to reptilian shape-shifting beings that then had this figured out for us millions of years ago. So whoever's going to be president, been president, and was selected to be president many different generations ago. And these are just facts, y'all. But think about what they got you doing. They have you going to a podium, giving all of your energy to somebody that you don't know, that you never met. You don't even know if they're a human being or not. You don't know if they're hiding behind a biological fake mask or not. You don't know who these people is, but yet we got people fighting political wars over them. You got people in households pulling guns on each other over this election. You got people mad over each other over an election for people that will never ever change nothing in your life. The set in the tone of earth is already selected, and the tone is already written by the higher ups of who you would call these different bloodlines and entities and families. So, you know, it's ironic that we're taking all of our energy and we're giving this television all of our energies and let it suck all of our electrons out. And we paying this so much attention to people that cannot even change our lives for the better. So I believe that this whole election thing is electron stealer and not an electron donor. The only thing that's going to loan or don electrons to you are things that can bring you possibly back to your nature. And that's the earth. That's the grass. That's the soil. That's water. That's spirit. That's meditating. That's listening to music. And I'm not talking about radioactive music where they're using the 808, which is to make it literally capture your root chakra, because the drums and the actual frequency that is beating that. I'm not talking about music that actually make you age and it makes you speed up your age by disintegrating your telomeres, literally messing up your chromosomes. The new music the new music actually ages you and makes you live faster. And these are scientific research and evidence that prove these things. All of these things are electron stealers. A relationship. You being with somebody just because you familiar with them, but you know you don't love that other person. That is an electron stealer. You see that? Being unequally yoked, being with somebody who don't have the same passion and the same drive as you. That is an electron stiller. But then on the flip side, you get electron donors, you know, hugging on your baby, increasing oxytocin hormones, binding chemistry. That's an electron donor. Making love to your significant other, the one that you can see you spending the rest of your lives. And the reason why I put an S at the end, because I really mean that. This spending the rest of your lives with. That's an electron donor. Being around somebody that can help stimulate your thought, for you can have the intellectual conversation to make you think beyond the physical. That's an electron donor. Living in your purpose, wanting to be in that present now, being in the present now, which is creating for real a timeless moment. These are the electron donors. And I'm just really starting to see. I used to be very, very, you know, I've been going back and forth between the metaphysics and the physics, but now it's like the time and date that we're in, the way this earth is shifting, the darkness that's coming upon us. And I'm not bringing nothing upon us, y'all, because a lot of people like, don't speak negative, it will happen. Shit, it's already here. It's already here. Seeing what's happening, we need to collectively raise our vibration spiritually. That's the only way we can make it up out of this predicament we in. For one, they got weapons that can see through walls. They have directed energy weapons connected to the sun now, where they can actually change the position of this sun stimulator, and they can blow up whole buildings. You see what happened over there in Hawaii, and then notice all of the blue painted buildings, the roof that was blue, they never got hit, but everything else and all the poor people, they things burnt up. So we dealing with a people that have trillions of dollars invested in thermonuclear weapons, in high energy directive weapons, and sound wave weapons that can actually dissipate somebody. They have something called a gay bomb, Rich. A gay bomb. Gay bomb, where they drop the bomb and they experimented on people. And what it does is it basically induces or stimulate or heighten the estrogen molecule in man. And it mixes certain chemicals and hormones that make you actually want to reproduce with the same sex. Hey, I mean, it's all types of what about atrazine, which is what they put in the water, which actually is known to shorten your Johnson. And then for the last 10 years, the black men have lost 2 inches of width and girth of their penises. Like they're trying to turn us back into this phonemic female prototype. If you look at what's going on in this world, man, the only way we can stop that is by focusing on our spirituality, man. Indeed. It ain't enough dollars, Rich. If we ain't got enough weapons, we ain't got enough people, we ain't got enough to come against what we up against. But what we do have, we have melanin. What we do have, we have carbon. What we do have, we have very, very, very highly crisp, pristine genetics. We can bring that together, man. Focus on our spirituality, focus on loving each other, becoming electron donors to each other, looking out for each other, man. I think we can change this whole planetary vibrational resonance, man. Straight up.
Damn, brother. Woo! Woo! Wow. You heard that, Nabi? We're Nabi. Nabi, you heard that?
I heard it.
You heard that, Nabi? Hey, Yahki, since we're talking so much about the sun, the moon, you know, we're introducing the cosmos into this health conversation. One of the things that they say is that the days of the week in this simulation that we're under, the days of the week is governed by planets.
Yes.
So they will assign Saturn to Saturday.
Yeah, Monday, Moon Day.
Monday,
Thursday,
exactly.
Thursday, yeah.
So just like the days of the week are assigned to certain planets, I'm wondering, Yahki, certain days of the week, is it more beneficial to eat certain foods in the simulation? Is certain foods in alignment with certain days of the week, just like certain planets that may dictate a certain personality, a certain mood, a certain attitude that we may have, my brother?
Boy, Rich be having no question, boy. You funny, man. So look, you have something called the light spectrum, right? It's called the light spectrum, and basically it's actually in the same color or resonance as your chakras, all the way down to the root chakra up to the Keter chakra. When you look at the root chakra, it's more of an orangish, a reddish color. When you go up to what you would call the sexual chakra, red. You get to the solar plexus. Notice it's called solar plexus. It's an orange yellowish color. When you get up to the heart chakra, it's green. When you get up to the throat chakra, it's blue. You get the third eye, it's purple. And then when you get up to the keter, it's like an indigo royal purplish bluish color. These are the same spectrums that our eyes and that our senses have been programmed to. Now you have to ask yourself this question, Rich. Who in the hell programmed you to these frequencies, and why didn't they program you to the frequencies outside of that spectrum? Because you can have a dog whistler and you can blow that dog whistler. You can't hear it when you blow it, but the whole neighborhood of dogs will start barking, showing you that there's a certain frequency that your biological entity and that your sensory senses is not tuned or programmed to.
Yes.
It just so happened that these 7 colors matches certain types of fruits, and that these 7 different types of fruit colors have 7 different days of the week, or have 7 different seasons that you can grow them in. So, you know, I think that you are very, very right about what you said. Instead of doing it the days of the week, though, I think it'd be better if we did them towards the seasons. You know, for instance, we talk about berries, right? Berries. If you talk about, I got my own farm, you know, I got my own farm on 10 acres. I grow my own food. I eat my own food. For those that's not privy to my YouTube channel, y'all can go and look at me do my farm chronicles, where I walk around my farm and I show you how to grow your own food. We had an amazing berry season. You know, the berries start off red. So when you look at blackberries or raspberries, they start off this reddish color. When you look at what makes this red color, is a chemical called lycopene. All right, lycopene. I believe it's Lycopene. I believe that's right. If I'm wrong, y'all, somebody correct me in the comments and spell it that way. But it's lycopene. Lycopene is that red that you see when the blueberries are first starting out. Lycopene is that red that you see in strawberries. Lycopene is that red that you see in watermelon. And notice all these things grow and are harvested around the same time. You see that? Right. So we see that red is usually what grows, and it is harvested and pulled around the same time. Well, what is that red used for? The cardiovascular system. Well, what deals with the cardiovascular system? The cardiovascular system deals with the kidneys and the heart, because the cardiovascular system is the heart. The heart is not a pump. The heart is a valve. Inside this valve, it takes this H3O water into a centrifugal force. This H3O water creates this plasma, which is blood that's created by the bone marrow. And then it goes throughout the body. And guess what holds all of these pints at all times of blood? To make sure that it's filtering out all the cytotoxins and all the toxemia, or all the metabolic waste, the kidneys. So we know that the heart and the kidneys are a part of the cardiovascular system. And we know that the cardiovascular system have what you would call red blood in it, due to what you would call H2O2, which is hydrogen peroxide, hemoglobin, and iron phosphate, or what you call ferritin. This is what gives blood that red color when oxygen hit it. You see what I'm saying? So if you look at that, what cleanses the blood will be your red colors. So if you look at grief, if you look at anger, anger is produced when anger is what you would call epinephrine and norepinephrine. That is produced by your adrenal glands. Your adrenal glands are 2 pyramid structure like physiological entities that sit on top of the kidneys. So when you are angry, you produce epinephrine and norepinephrine. This actually puts your body into a state of fight. All right, you ready to throw hands. You angry, you're ready to protect something. When you're afraid, this is something called adrenaline. Adrenaline is made by the adrenals and the kidneys. This actually put adrenaline, or what you would call cortisol, inside the bloodstream. This puts you in a state of flight. All right, so adrenaline is a state of flight. All right, then we have cortisol, which is a state of flight. Then you got norepinephrine, which is a state of fight. All right, notice that these are actual chemicals that drives your emotional actual functionality. Emotional stands for energy and energy and motion. So based off of emotion, you have a physical chemical that's produced by the body that goes throughout the cardiovascular system that tells you how to react to your environment. And all of this can be based off of a color, because what deals with the heart and deals with the kidneys and deals with these hormones being dumped into the bloodstream is things that you eat. So it just so happened what cleans out the heart, what cleanses out the kidney, what cleanses out the blood and cleanses out the plasma is things that are made up of red substances that come from a chemical called lycopene, which makes up the color red. You see what I'm saying? So if you are feeling stressed out, if you're feeling scared, if you're angry, guess what you need to be eating? You need to be eating red colors. These are things like watermelons. And notice people that are very, very fearful have kidney problems. People that are very, very fearful and lack confidence have diabetes mellitus because their pancreas is not working properly. People that are very, very fearful or that are angry all the time have liver and heart issues, showing you that these energies, emotions, or that these chemicals that are being produced because of the emotional state that you're in produces certain types of cytochemicals in your body that drives your hormones by way of enzymes. You see that? That actually predicts and manifests your personality. Whew. So we got light. Look, so we got like red. Next thing we got is purple. Purple is your higher dimensional color. Notice when you look at the throat chakra, when you look at the pineal gland, or what you would call the third eye, and you look at the Keter chakra, you're dealing with anthocyanins. Anthocyanins come from cyanobacteria. This is the actual first bacteria that was able to convert methane over into oxygen and give us oxygen to breathe. Showing you that we have not always been oxygen creatures. Now. Hey, for those that's listening, it's somebody that said that before, though. It's somebody that said that before. His name is Rashad Jamal. Free that man. He actually said that. Rashad Jamal said that a long time ago, and I said, I know he ain't studied this. He got to be connected to some higher realms to even know that, because I'm the only black man that have ever even said that, and I'm hearing another black man say that I know ain't studied that. That got to be a connection. You see that? Because we didn't always breathe oxygen, and they actually call it the oxygen event. You hear a lot of Caucasian scientists and a lot of Caucasian biochemists and human biologists actually call it that, the oxygen event, which happened 2.5 billion years ago, where cyanobacteria, and the reason why it's called cyano, because in a different verbiage, cyano means blue or purple. You see that? So now when you get to your anthocyanins, blue and purple, these are things that make you awake. These are things that actually help mold and shape the brains. These are things that actually decalcify the pineal gland. What am I talking about? Blueberries, blackberries. See that? Black apples, which black apples are $4,000 an apple now. You only can get them from Asia. For all of my family members on here, Google black apples. They charging $4 grand for one of them, because the actual healing and spiritual properties in this apples and how it detoxifies, and not only detoxify, but decalcify the pineal gland to open up your spiritual awareness. So when you look at purple things deals with the neurological functions of the body. It helps produces more melanin neurotransmitters, and it rebuilds the brain, such as memory, brain fog. It gets rid of all of that. You can see new brain synapses being created just by eating anthocyanins. So if you ever forgetful, if your memory is bad, if you're feeling like you're not connected to your spirituality well, you would eat more purple or eat more blue, anthocyanins. You see that? All you got to do is go to the seasons. When or these, what seasons or anthocyanin fruits and vegetables growing in? That's the season you need to be in on it, because obviously this is a spiritual awareness season. Just like you see what I'm saying? So every color, for instance, orange, beta carotene. That's the orange color. It's called beta carotene. Beta carotene is what gives orange that orange color. Now, notice whenever you get into orange, you start getting into the solar plexus. Whenever you get into yellow, this is called sulfate. You see that? When you get into your yellows, and that's the thing like a yellow onion. The yellows are more of your detoxifiers. Not only they're your detoxifiers, but they rebuild your immune system. And let me say this, your spiritual immune system, because you have a spiritual immune system. There's a whole, look, it's called psychoimmunity. If y'all think I'm lying, Google it. These are doctors and biochemists coming up with these words. Psychoimmunity. Last time I thought psycho meant mentality. These are things that you think of. You can't see thoughts. So what I took that as psychoimmunity means spiritual immunity, meaning you have a spiritual defense system.
Right.
But you have a physical thing that can help build that up. And that's why most spiritual people have physical practices. Notice a Muslim. Yeah.
Right.
He prays 3 to 6 times a day.
Yeah.
Spiritual discipline shows in his physical.
Yes.
He will look, he will walk around rich. He will walk around with a prayer rug and drop down in the middle of the airport.
In the middle, yes.
Is that physical discipline, or is that spiritual discipline that's driving the physical?
Spiritual discipline that's driving the physical.
Because we know that the body did not create the mind created the body to experience reality. So when you start looking at colors, when you start looking at tunes and frequencies, we all talking about the same things, because colors is nothing but a vibratory frequency. It's a resonant frequency. Music is nothing but a resonant frequency. Electricity is a resonant frequency. Magnetism is a frequency. These frequencies are invisible to our sensory senses, meaning that is what? Spiritual, but it has a physical manifestation on your body. And that's why I'm getting out of all of these physical things, because I'm realizing that all of this shit is spiritual.
Yahki, man, I'm gonna tell you, I could tell I'm very, very, very intuitive, right? And I interview so many people. I've been interviewing since 2006, and it's 2024. I've been interviewing since I'm like 20 years old, brother.
Yeah.
I could tell growth, and not that you needed to grow, but you were at Jordan level, and I don't know how you're still growing, bro. And that's amazing to be. It's like LeBron type shit. It's like, you know how LeBron is still LeBron in 22 years of NBA, bro. Like you were, when you came on my show in 2022, you was like at the top of the food chain, and you're like breaking through the glass ceiling. You're growing even more. It's an amazing thing to see. It's inspirational, brother. The shit you saying tonight is beyond what we call health, beyond nutrition. It's tapping purely into spirituality.
Because
you're merging.
That's what
you're merging it. You're merging it. You're merging it, my brother.
Hey, I got a question for you, Rich. I got a question for you.